Every day, each of us goes about our days attempting to live a moral life. What is a moral life, you may wonder? According to Arthur Kleinman, the author of the book What Really Matters, a moral life is simply the way we go about our personal business, because the way we live is a direct reflection of our morals. Morals are our values, our sense of right and wrong. The author discusses how our morals are not innately good or bad. The moral life of one individual may appear strange or even evil to another. We all do our best to live a moral life, even amidst challenges such as war, illness, death, and inequality. When the dominant culture has morals that go against those of some members in a society, those members will protest and fight to regain ethical correctness. The main argument of What Really Matters is that dangers and uncertainties are an inescapable dimension of life, and that these dangers and uncertainties are what make life matter, giving us meaning to our short, forgettable lives. Kleinman argues that we can learn a lot from those who have faced moral challenges and how they continue to live a moral life according to their values. When our morals are threatened, we feel a loss of control in our lives. We attempt to regain this control using coping methods such as denial, religious dependency, escapism, radical acceptance, therapy, and technological resources. I put together a short interview for some of my fellow NAU students to see what I could learn from their experiences in facing adversity.
I just have a few questions for you about your morals and stuff. So what matters most to you in this world?
My family and my friends and my independence.
Good ones. Okay. And how much control do you feel you have over your life?
I would say a decent amount. I would say that I, plan a lot of stuff so that I can have control.
That's good. So was there ever a time in your life when things got out of your control and you couldn't protect those things that matter most to you?
Yeah, there's definitely a time in my life.
Yeah, could you tell me about it?
I had some mental health issues that definitely affected my relationship with my family and friends, and I took away a lot of my own independence, I think.
And do you think this experience changed you as a person, changed your perspective on things?
100%. I realized that I can't be in control of everything, that things happen and that I have to let them happen and figure out how to cope with them.
That's true. It's a good thing that you try to be in control though, because we have to at least try. So how do you cope with these things? You just deny our inevitable demise, or accept it? Therapy, technology, what's your poison?
I used to go to, I still go to therapy, but I used to go a lot more than I actually do now, because I'm doing a lot better. I make sure to spend time with my family and my friends, just so that they know I care about them. And with my independence, I just try to do something for myself, every day. That keeps it going. And I have to remember that, at the end of the day, I'm living my life for myself and not for other people.
That is very true. Well, thank you so much.
The human experience is wildly unpredictable. It is ignorant to assume that one could hold on to all their morals throughout their life, what with all the challenges life has to hold. Through these hardships, we discover our meaning and learn more about ourselves. Humans have a tendency to deny their mortality. It is quite impossible to avoid unfavorable events in our lives. Illness, animosity, death of loved ones, political unrest, poverty, and mental illness constantly looms over us all. The dominant culture does not acknowledge these threats because it is for the good of society that we believe we have some sort of control over our lives. Advertisements tell us that this product will give us control, or it will help or fix something. This idea of buy power is false and dangerous. The truth is we have no control, and when something morally compromising happens to us, we are hit with the harsh blow of reality. The results of this shock are often medicalized and medicated. The medical gaze sees intense human emotions as an imbalance of chemicals in the brain, and they are quick to prescribe medication to people suffering from major depression after a depressing event. Instead of understanding and dealing with these inevitabilities head-on, we prefer to numb the symptoms. In his book, Kleinman discusses a sort of self-blinding technique that we humans subconsciously use. Basically, for us to get ourselves through daily life, we must forget about all the bad things that can and might happen. As I mentioned earlier, there are threats all around us. In order to get ourselves into a car, we must blind ourselves to the fact that car accidents are extremely common and often deadly. In order to eat, we must blind ourselves to the fact that we could choke. A certain level of self-blinding is necessary to do what needs to get done, but Kleinman argues that the majority of people today, especially in wealthy countries, take self-blinding too far. According to the book, to gain clarity of genuine reality is to live a better life. Okay, so if self-blinding is what gets us through life, how would understanding true reality help us live better? Well, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, author Arthur Kleinman communicates to us that the challenges we go through and the things that change our views are the things that make us human and define our meaning in life. Only through struggle can we learn and improve. For example, say a man in his 40s goes bankrupt. He has a house, wife, and kids to take care of, but now he cannot financially support them. This may make him depressed, self-critical, and confused. Why me, he would ask. His morals may evolve while going through this hardship. Maybe he decides to rob a gas station to get some money to buy dinner for his family. Before this, he never would have committed a felony. Maybe he morally rationalized gambling out of desperation. In a few years, the man recovers financially. He finds a new job, makes good money, and pays off his debt. But now his morals have changed. He understands why poor people commit crimes, and he understands desperation and hopelessness. His idea of what really matters has altered. Things like bankruptcy can happen to almost anyone at almost any time. Uncertainties in life are there not to destroy us, but to keep us on our toes. They remind us that we don't have the control that society says we have, and therefore encourages us to be prepared for anything. Some people who have seen the truth of reality try to prepare for anything and everything the world may throw at them. Doomsday preppers will buy copious amounts of resources so that in the event of a power outage, nuclear war, zombie apocalypse, or whatever else might end the world, they have what they will need for years. Others who understand genuine reality turn to drugs, alcohol, or adrenaline to forget the harsh truth. Those who can accept it, however, are the most enlightened among us. Their morals will align with what truly matters most to them, as they know how it feels to have those important things compromised. Our morals are defined by our fears. Many people have developed morals that go against that of the dominant culture or government. Our morals are so important to us that we will give our time protesting, petitioning, and fighting to obtain what we believe to be just. There is always a battle between ourselves and the world around us to maintain the things that are important to us. Even when nothing dramatic or traumatic happens, it takes effort and commitment to protect what matters most. The human experience is empathetic. Bad things happening to other humans can, not on the same level but somewhat, open your eyes to the genuine reality. These secondhand experiences can cause loss of hope, trust, and even happiness. The more empathetic we are, the more pain we are exposed to. It has been proven that people with a higher IQ are more prone to depression, and I believe it is because they know too much to fully self-blind. Gifted kids grow up to be depressed adults who know more of the truth than the average naive person. I believe this is the reason for our society's value for those who have been through some shit, or who have gone through trauma and came out a different person. Those who have had the gift of experiencing the very human experience of suffering are better liked among peers and are often more experienced and mature than others their age who have not yet suffered moral failure. If you can learn to accept it, the knowledge of genuine reality is liberating.